Restock your barbecue. Yeah, pretty good. Yeah, that's them. Good morning, everybody. Supreme Rising. Everybody doing today? Top of the morning to you. I like that. Everybody, y'all enjoying yourself? Perfect. 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 I'm having a good damn morning. How about y'all? Give it a little more time. Tia Love. Indigo Blue. Pleasure, the gifted goddess. You need to get your feet in the dirt, get grounded. Put my feet. All right. So this morning ancestor prayer is gonna be kind of controversial, y'all. It's gonna be controversial. To some. Heather Jeter, what's up? How Derek doing? I had to throw that joke in. I did it when we did our reading. I had to throw that joke in now. I love it. All right. So today, everybody, we're going to be talking about an ancestor that's very fitting for this holiday. Now, in the past, I used to love 4th of July. I used to celebrate it because I like the fireworks. I love the cookouts. I love getting together with family. But the more I've grown consciously and as a African man, I don't want to say black, as I've grown as an African male, and I've looked at our history and come to grips with it, I'm at the point where, you know, celebrating the 4th of July is more so a celebrating this country, this state, to which I really love this country. You can't be no other way. I'm just gonna be G with you. With all the problems we got here, it's still one of the greatest goddamn places to live. Yep. So now, when it comes down to our ancestors, again, it brings up that the old Negro spiritual, you know, that, you know, the Negro national anthem. And I'm looking at it and I'm listening to it. I listened to it this morning and tears still come in my eyes when I hear it. I think that's one of the songs that make me tear up the most. You know, The song talks about the struggle that the black man has had in this in the United States since slavery. And they talk about the struggle, and a lot of people dismiss it and say it wasn't that bad, it wasn't all this, it was sharecropping, time sharing, whatever they come up with. But if you guys listen to that song, you guys can understand. If anybody with a heart can listen to that song, you'll understand the hope we had, the hope our ancestors had to carry through their heart, the mindset that they had to be in to continuously go through ass whoopings and betrayal and mistreating and just ravaging and raping and the pillaging, to still have hope for a brighter future, that someday things will change, or to create that one offspring that would change the world and bring everybody together or free us from our chains and bondage. And that's what this prayer today is for. Now, again, I told you this prayer is going to be very controversial for some. So if your ears get a little sensitive to what the hell I'm talking about, that means you don't understand our plight and you really shouldn't be listening to me at all. If you get triggered by this means that you are part of the problem in my eyes, because this is not anything hate. This is not any violence, call to violence, or none of that stuff. This is just telling you what we went through, and we need to pray for the souls of those ancestors who lost their lives, their liberties, and their freedom doing just this to make us better, to make this country a better place, and still got nothing from it. So, a couple of the verses go in the song, you know, treading through the blood and the slaughter. Treading through the blood and the slaughter. Now, you got to understand when that guy wrote that song, how he was envisioning treading through the blood and the slaughter. This is people being taken out, and this is their offsprings. This is this is the next generation. They had they was the one treading through the blood and the slaughter. And you put that image in your head. On the same fields and everything, you got bodies littered about, guts and gore everywhere, strange fruit in the tree, you know. And then you want to come up here and their generation, their children's children have to recognize that that's where your great grandfather laid. That's where they lynched and persecuted X, Y, and Z for X, Y, and Z. That's where this was. And we had to keep a happy face, and we had to keep doing what we had to do, even though we was in pain. And our ancestors went through that, people. We can't get away from it. They went through it. They was in bondage, they was in chains, and they went through it. But somehow they managed to continue to fuck. They managed to continue to be happy and instill values into us and into their children, to the point all the way up to where we are living today. We are here today living this beautiful life and this plan that they had in store for us. And I think we do them a disservice, you know, by not really honoring their sacrifice. We'll talk about it. We'll make it a hashtag or a speaking point. We'll do something like that. But are we really acknowledging those individuals who stood up to the masses, who went to hell and back, who sat up there and watched their husband get sold off, their children got sold off, watched their wives and daughters get beat, brutalized, and everything else, and still had to smile? And what pisses me off about it, I hear little TikToks and little speeches where some people say, "Oh, that guy back in the day, that guy who was a slave, he wasn't a man because he couldn't protect his wife. He wasn't a man because he couldn't protect his daughters. He wasn't a man because he couldn't do this." Do you know that pissed me off? Do you know the mindset you got to have? Do you go up there and fight for one and leave all the rest to handle the grief and the retribution that the powers that be, the person in control, is gonna bring down on them because you pissed them off by going out in a blaze of fucking glory. Lacey knocking over stuff, y'all. That since you want to go out in a blaze of glory to stop them from selling one person, so you go and excite all them people. Now they come back and they execute your whole damn family, or they execute you and then beat your family ass and make the labor on them 10 times worse. And to hear a black man talk like that and say that black, and he was saying black man wasn't shit because we couldn't protect our women while we was on the plantation. It triggered something inside of me, and I'm like, you take your buff, muscular, tattooed ass in back in those days and see how well you fare when you have your mother over here, when you have your sister over here, when you have your brothers over here, and you know when one of y'all get out of line, they get it 10 times worse. It humbles your ass. And I'm saying, and that right there lets me know that we are not honoring our ancestors who went through that. And this is Independence Day. This is freedom for all in the greatest nation on the planet, and we still not free. And I think we're not being free, or we're not honoring them properly so that they can experience freedom through us, because we're still blaming them, or blaming their offspring, or blaming a portion of them for the pain they went through. You didn't go through that pain. I didn't go through that pain. This is all thought process, memories, and dreams. So how, and it's like, how can somebody, man or woman, sit up there and hold somebody accountable for a time period that they were not in, and say, hey, this is why women should treat us like this, or this is why men should treat us like this, because we're sitting up here and we didn't do a revolution back then. We didn't uprise and take heads back then. We in a foreign country. What we gonna take heads and do what? Live on the same plantation where we took all them heads, and then they sent in the army to eradicate that out. Now you got a whole generation dead. No more offspring being done. And if y'all see the correlation, what I'm trying to get y'all everybody to see is, those people went through hell and high water just so your ass can be here, just so I can be here. And this is how we need to honor them. On the 4th of July, I'm not finna pop a damn firework. It's my morning time. I'm finna relax, smoke my breakfast cigar, drink my coffee, and eat me a little bagel over here, and just contemplate and say a nice little prayer for my ancestors, the one that were slaves, the one that starting in this country alone, dreading through the blood and the slaughter. The witness that the shit people had to go through. So I mean, I got lost in thought right there, good people, because it touches me. And all this shit has divided us so bad. This shit has divided us so bad to it's unreal. Raging Shines Steinberg. So you're saying to always be submissive and don't stand for anything, just being? No, never that. I'm saying weigh the pros and cons before you stand up. Weigh the pros and cons. Have a strategy. I'm the one to never sit up there and being for shit. I'm always the opposition, and I'm always the bully in every scenario. I can't even lie and make that shit up there. But why would you sit up there and go out as a blaze of hero? To me, that's being real selfish when you know the outcome that's gonna come from it. The backlash. You're gone. You have no more pain and sorrow and suffering, but your loved ones do. So you think about those brothers and sisters who had to put up with that shit. And those are the ones that's supposed to be honored and respected, not the ones that just say, oh shit, master hit me with a wilt. Let me just go ahead and execute everybody. Do you not care unless your whole family bought that life and all y'all get out there and get it? So Mr. I guess that's Mr. or Miss. I can't see the picture, but Steinberg. This is not a call to action. I say this is not a call to action, or me telling people to be humble, docile, and submissive when you're in the face of the opposition. This is not about me and you. This is not about me right now. This is not about you right now or any of us right now. We're talking about what our ancestors had to go through, and this is why we're praying for them. See, this dialogue alone let us know we done got lost in the goddamn shuffle because we're too busy casting blame on those who stood up and glorifying those who left before time. It's about the struggle that our ancestors went through that we need to give them thanks because there's a lot of unknown, unnamed ancestors that done passed away that we don't know nothing about, that we can just sit up there and know that they suffered. God waited in the bush 30, 30 days just to take revenge on one person. Calculating. That's how it's supposed to be. I understand. Hey, if you want to go out there and knock a bitch head off in this day and age for what somebody did in the past, have at it. I'm not telling you to. If it make you feel good. But what I'm saying, we need to pray and get those ancestors who took the time to logically and strategically think, who sat up there and ate nothing but concrete shit just so they can live to see another day, just so they can produce myself, you included. If you think if your great grandfather, great grandmother would have stood up and got murdered before they had their grandbaby, before that person had, that's a generation lost. So you got to think about and you got to respect those people who went through that shit so you can be here. It's all cool and beautiful to go out in a blaze of fucking glory. Oh, the Ram, you delete, you blocked that dude. I don't think they were saying nothing rude, but thank you. If they said something rude, thank you, the Ram, because I wasn't looking at it. Oh, listen, when I get it, and I'll leave on this one right here. I'm not looking to start no war presently. I'm not looking to start no war presently. The universe is going to sort that shit out on their own. If we empower our ancestors to come back and take revenge, then we won't have to do nothing. We just got to sit back and watch the carnage unfold. I'm not willing to go to prison and lose my children and the people I've loved just to prove a goddamn manly Negro point. No. Nor now if they come in my face and do some crazy shit, yeah, let's get on that ass. Boom rush. But just going out there getting retribution for some that wasn't there, those people, that was their glory point. That's not our glory point. And that's why I'm saying with this ancestor prayer, a lot of dialogue need to be had with this, but with this ancestor prayer, it's about recognizing those particular individuals' glory point. They struggled. They went out like this. They did what they had to do. They suffered. And nobody is giving them thanks other than watching them in movies and saying what they would have did and how they could have done it better. You don't know and you don't know if what they showing on TV pretty accurate. It probably was 10 times fucking worse for them. And the only thing they do, they know they was in a new land, don't know the structure, barely know the language, all the laws set up against them. So they had to put up with that shit until a time came for a savior to come out and make shit happen. So that's that, and thank you, Sabina. Again, I'm not reading the comments too much, so I don't know what's going on. But if you thought that person was being hostile, I appreciate you. But yeah, and let me get back on track. So this ancestor prayer right here is just to honor those who actually put up with shit. And let me ask you guys a question: how much shit you put up with in your lifetime just so your kids and your family can make it? How much shit you put up with on your job? Your boss sit up there and talk shit to you. Your supervisor put you up and through there. Your supervisor sit up there and just do you dirty. And you have to smile, grin, and bear the shit. You need an award for that. I used to be part of the working force. I used to clock in every day. Go in 30 minutes early, leave 30 minutes late. Be the best fucking person I can be. And then you have to do it because you got a baby at the house. You got a husband or a wife at the house. You got your life that you got going on. You got your shit that you love to do, your hobbies. And what the fuck, you gonna walk in the next day and X out your fucking boss, and then who's gonna pay your ass? What you gonna do? Prison, jail, or homeless? So we have to honor those people that was in that slave mentality, that was in that slave mindset, that went through the shit. Yeah, they could have uprose. It was 90% more than them. They could have uprose on multiple occasions. Then you would have had another fight on your hand. U.S. military going out slaughtering generations. And if they would have did that, I wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be here. Nobody would be here. So those people who took shit need to be venerated, need to be praised, need to be thanked. It's not about a selfish move. And that's why I say, I listened to that song this morning and it shared tears. It brought tears to my eyes because I feel the pain. And we celebrating America's independence and America's freedom, and we're celebrating that type of shit. And then it's like a country where we not even recognized as a whole citizen. We're not free, but we still got to take this shit. Because ain't none of us hopping on no planes going back to Africa. And if we did hop on a plane and get our ass back to Africa, do we know the language? Do we know the culture anymore? Where's our finances going to come from? It's beautiful in your brain, this utopia we create. But logically, it puts us back in the same mindset that our slave ancestors was in. And that mindset is survive at all costs. Uprise when it's time to uprise. But at the same time, we gotta make sure our kids and everybody is okay. We're done. If we uprise, we're done. We're gone. We have no more pain, sorrow. We go into the next life. Our kids can be tortured. Parents can be done our way with. I mean, I'd rather be here to guide them and protect them with my life and go out at the time I need to go out versus just going out in a selfish blaze of glory to get my name written down in a book or to have my names on the lips of 3 or 4 people say, oh, he was a great fighter, warrior, tactician. But here it is, my baby girl left to the fucking masses of the people who hate me to do what they want with them and her. I mean, this is what I'm saying. So how about we just take ourselves out, get ourselves out of our glory ass prideful feelings and look at what our ancestors went through. These people went through some heavy shit just so you can be here, just so I can be here. And let's take it away from the black people. Let's put it on the Latinos and the Tainos and the Indians. Let's put it on a different culture. They damn near wiped them people off the face of the fucking earth. They assumed their identity. You look at an Indian man right now, you can't tell he's Indian. You think he's a European with a tan. Totally assimilated. They fought, they uprose, and they was wiped out. Left a fraction of them. Great people, reduced to a fucking fraction. And you gotta respect their ancestors. And they pray to their ancestors 10 times more than blacks, whites, pray to theirs. And their ancestors teach them how to honor themselves in the ways that they should go. And this is what we gotta start doing. We gotta give praise to the ancestors who went to the fucking bank, who knew how to negotiate, who knew how to stuff their fucking feelings just so your ass can be here today, so I can be here today. I honor them. I thank them. We look at the movies and we hear yes sir master, no sir boss, and all that shit there and think that motherfucking an idiot. I wouldn't dare do that. Well, that's not your time frame and that's not your mindset. We're in a different time where we don't have to do that. But they was in a time they had to do that to survive. Our survival method kick in when we sit up there and we walk into a restaurant and a lady grab our purse. We got to make sure we are very seen, very known, so that and smile, so they know that we're not a threat to them as black men. Our sisters, we can't even get upset and shit and tell a bitch where to get the fuck off at, because that consider us they consider y'all girls belligerent and bad and ghetto. So we have to act a certain way. That's no different than what our ancestors were doing back on the plantation during slavery days. pretending, biding their time so that they can live and enjoy life and they got to do this shit for their offspring. If I walk everywhere like I truly feel with a pissed off look on my face, 240-pound black man with a beard, muscles and shit, and I walk in there angry, oh, something's wrong. He's dangerous. Everybody's on high alert, so you got to go in there with a smile and you pray to God that it give you good motherfucking teeth so your shit ain't fucked and chipped. So motherfucker, don't get offended by your smile. I mean, these are survival tactics. These is what we learn growing up. You get passed down, survive this shit, because we can't out whoop them. We're still a minority in their country. They're becoming a minority. And again, this is not a call to arms to go out there and buck up against the opposition, what you consider opposition, what I may consider the opposition. I'm telling you, we need to honor our ancestors who did just that, who bide their time so your ass can be here, who did what they had to do so your ass can be here to celebrate this Independent Day. Now, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this. What about the one that joined the military? What about our black soldiers that joined the military and were fighting for this country? They was used as cannon fodder, put out there in the front, didn't give them a gun, clean up the body, that type of shit. We're fighting for war and it was still illegal to shoot a white man on the opposite side if he was a black man. So you have to get out there and risk your life cleaning up the dead and removing debris and cooking food and washing laundry and shit. Well, knowing that if they put a gun in one of y'all hands, bitch, we flipping through the jungle, executing everything. 12 bullets take out 100 men because we good. But we couldn't do it. And we made it off the battlefield, barely, but intact. Back then, we honor those people who put themselves in harm's way just to realize a dream with hope that one day we'll be able to be free. And the plan is working. It's just that we're facing more opposition. And now the opposition ain't just coming towards black people and people of color, brown and red and yellow. They going after everybody because we're so interbred and mixed up mentally and physically. And I just want to pray for those ancestors who understood the struggle. They understood that time is of the essence. They understood and they went through shit. Could you imagine somebody walking in your house, knocking over your food, taking your daughter or your wife right in front of you, and you as a man can't do a goddamn thing? Or else your ass gonna get put on the hanging post or the whipping block, and then they gonna do it just for the fucking fun of it? And that's what infuriates me about these revolutionists that think like, oh, I ain't taking no shit, no form, no way, no how. Have you been put in that situation? Our ancestors were put in that situation and they had to take shit. And they made it to the point of this to where they can create your ass, create my ass. And yeah, they should be thanked for that because they could have uprose and tore some ass up, and the military could have came in to quell that rebellion, and shit could have got loose, and it could have been some heavy shit, and none of us could have been here. None of us could have been here. Hell, we probably got reincarnated as an Asian man some fucking well. So yeah, I think those ancestors deserve to get a little prayer. Do y'all think they deserve to get a little prayer? They deserve to get a little energy? We celebrating Independence Day. Everybody's out there celebrating Independence Day, making purchases. And America is good. The idea of America is a good place. The people who running it, not so much. The people who run in America, not so much. They're not in a good spot to get this to where it needs to be. They deserve our love. They deserve our blessing. They deserve our respect. They wasn't weak, soft coons, and it pisses me off when I hear people say, "Oh, they were weak. I wouldn't have done it." But you don't know what you would have done in that situation. You don't know what you would have done seeing 4, 5 year old kids there and your wife, and you supposed to stand up and get lynched and leave them to the hands at the mercy of a bitch that hates you for standing up to them. So you grin and bear it. Because you ain't going to your job kicking their ass every day. You ain't sitting up there going in the stores fucking up Karens. You know, you don't go out there and beat down a bank teller because they won't give you a loan for a house. You do what you got to do to survive. Get your shit together, make yourself beyond reproach, and then when it comes, you execute your motherfucking plan. And that's all our ancestors did. They took shit. They took shit. We didn't have no ships at that time to overthrow nobody and go back to our native place. Hell, we didn't even know how to chart the ocean because at the time we was landlocked. We wasn't seafaring. The upper echelon was. So all this, oh, I could uprise and do what I got to do, man, that is maddening. That is craziness. Our people during slavery was built on compromise. We had to compromise. We had to grin and bear it. And that's some heavy shit. I don't compromise in my relationship. I don't fucking compromise with my children when it comes to what they supposed to do right and wrong. But as a man in the slavery days, we had to compromise what we gonna say, how much shit we can take until we just bubble and fold. We had to compromise everything with the wife and the kids in the house. Hey, the master can do this shit, master can do that. And we had to rationalize that shit and prep each other and be each other's strength. And now in the day, we can't even come together as man and woman. We all saber rattling and hating each other and shit. Nobody want to take responsibility for the time that men was out there being savage and dogs. Now women is on the track saying that, oh, I can't trust a man to be shit. Men ain't shit. Well, at one point, you know, men were saying women ain't shit because we had to look at a woman choose master and enjoy it over us. And that shit is a psyche, but nobody talks about that. But then that woman had to do what she had to do to save her fucking family. She had to go and make sure master ass was satisfied and not aggressive after he done caught his little nut. And he had some affection for her, so that saved a lot of our asses, men. So yeah, it done got lost over time. But these women had to do what they had to do and had to take that shit because they understood the bigger picture. I got kids. I got a family. I got a great grandmama who they don't have no use for on this farm. And she 90 years old and she living. But as long as I do what I got to do and keep the masses happy, they ain't going to take grandma out there to the field and kill her ass just yet. Our women went through that. Women. Our men, y'all men went through this shit right here. Listen to me now. It's cool to be a hashtag of men and equality and men ain't shit, women ain't shit, red pill, blue pill, all that shit is cool. That's hashtag, that's entertainment. But when you get down to the meat and potatoes, when you look at how the family was structured back then, women took shit. Took shit from the master's wife for jealousy. Took shit from the master, his sons, his neighbors who just wanted to come over there and do what they fucking do. Men took shit. Men got whooped, lynched, beat, cut, crippled, all that shit out of jealousy. And we couldn't uprise because we had our families to think about. To me, that deserves so much fucking respect. That deserves so much respect because you had to do it. When the time came, motherfuckers stood up for themselves. Motherfuckers went out in a blaze of glory when they couldn't take it no more. But for the most part, they had to take that shit. You don't know how many bed wenches that sat up there and then redeemed themselves and took out a master or two. We were cooking their food and shit, and they were doing what they had to do there. Brothers taking somebody, and so the master fall off the wagon, bust his head. He get the body back and help the hero, but you never know, he probably could have done it. You know, yeah, it's little small stuff. But then we get these people that say, that wouldn't be me. I couldn't have done that shit. I couldn't have lived like that. That wasn't your time frame to live. And if you had to change place with your fucking ancestors and you be the man or the woman you is today, and you go back to that time frame with this fucking mindset, you wouldn't have an offspring on this fucking planet to call your ass an ancestor. You wouldn't have nobody to pray to send you no fucking energy back. You wouldn't have shit. You would just be a fucking thought. And the people that have to worship you from some place you come from that ain't never heard of your name because you got a new name. These ain't your regular names. Am I making sense, y'all? So I think those need to be honored. On this 4th of July where we celebrate freedom, let's celebrate the motherfucker who truly was free. And this is controversial, I told you. Let's celebrate the motherfucker who truly was free. Our ancestor that was in slavery during the slavery day, that was in bondage, they was freer than we are right now. They had an overseer, but they was so free because they understood each other. They understood the struggle that each one was going through. And they cling to the simple hope that I got you and you got me. Today we don't do that. It's me versus you. How the fuck if we both struggle, it can be me versus you? Crabs in a barrel mentality. How the fuck? This is why our ancestors rolling off in our grave. This is why they coming back trying to rewrite our shit. This is why they telling us to do the ancestor prayers every Monday morning so that we can heal that bloodline. So the people who did treat us like shit, the people who did sit up there and put these fuck ass ideas of separation, man versus women gotta just use a man for the money, get what you want, lay down on your back, you got a pussy, so guess what? He's supposed to respect you. And that's what the women taught then. Our fathers teaching us women ain't shit. And you always got to have multiple women on the side. And everybody, and we learn that shit. And we grow up indoctrinating that shit into our kids where now we can't even stand up for our females. We can't even stand up for our men. Hell, we don't want to. We don't want to bless them with a, how you doing, brother? You're looking good. I hope everything okay. You got 5 minutes for me to say some good words to you. How your family doing? We can't do that without. I can't walk up to a woman right now and spark a 5 minute conversation without like having to be creepy, flirty, or some shit like that. Because why the fuck you doing that? Who are you to do that to me? Women can't walk up to me and just say, "How you doing, brother? Looking good, buffed up, you nice, looking good up top, face all right. Hope you have a good day." It comes out like, what was that bitch's angle? What's her angle? And that goes into the fucked up doctrines and the teachings that the ones who came before us taught us growing up as a kid. They created all these toxic personalities inside of us. And our ancestors are saying, where the fuck did y'all go wrong at? Y'all was there. We are still here. We are still behind enemy lines and we can't come together. You think I'm going to sit up there and hate my sister, a beautiful woman out there, for some shit that they did on TV? Some shit that a bitch said X, Y, and Z did to them 13 years ago. I was supposed to hate her and not defend her. I'm not gonna give my life for her because again, this is not my family. This is not my obligation. But you goddamn right, I'm gonna make sure I can do my best to quell that situation. And if she link up with me, being a black man, black woman, friends, whatever, you gonna understand. This man trying to quell the situation so we can get out of this bitch to live to fight another day. Paperwork is paperwork. We can always file a police report when we in a safe distance. But let's not go blaze of glory. Women, it's okay to sit up there and not and tap a man on the shoulder. Brother, you ain't gotta fight that hard. You ain't gotta be that belligerent. Calm that shit down. And give us back our mindset of awareness. Because when we enrage, we enrage. This is what I feel in my heart our ancestors wanted us to be like. The ancestors of slavery. This is what they wanted us to be like. They kept each other in checks and bound because they understood the bigger picture. You got more offsprings to create. You got more lives to make. You got more dreams and universes to create around this planet and this earth. The person that your offspring, if you live to fight another day, your offspring just might be the one to cure cancer. Your offspring just might be the one, be the next Jesus Christ like Messiah. But if we too busy sitting up here hating each other and can't sit up here and connect on a basic fucking level of just humanality and understanding, we are fucking lost. So I'm gonna dump all my energy today into praying and celebrate the ancestor that was in slavery, the ancestor that went and did what they fucking had to do to create me and to create you. All the revolutionaries out there, by all means, have at it. Have at whatever motherfucking thing float your boat. But I respect my ancestors who granted and bared it, who made me. They made me to the point where I'm a motherfucking beast. I dare a bitch to get out of line with me. Now I can stand up and put somebody in check. They couldn't. They was stuck in a central location. We can move where we gotta move. We can kick somebody's ass and move next week. They couldn't do that shit knowing that this man had all access to them at any time while they working. You in the field, they doing bad shit to your family. You come home, guts and innards scoring all over the fucking place. That's because you stood up and you tried to fight. Yeah, bitch, you know better now. You have to deal with that pain. And then you got regret. Man, if I just could have stuffed that anger, if God would have gave me strength to power through it, my family would still be here. I wouldn't have to go through this shit. I'm telling you, people, this shit, we got it backwards. We supposed to be procreating, making more babies. We supposed to be coming together with our resources and shit. In them slavery days, they understood. Slaves from different fucking plantation, when they say, oh, they got word, Master Bob ain't feeding Eminem on hunger strike, or they just letting starving them out, and they still making them work. Take this basket of cornbread and these 3 eggs, and you walk through the night and you get that over there so they can have something to eat to keep their strength up to fight another day. That's how it was. That's how it was. That's how it's supposed to be now. My brother and sister over there suffering. They ain't got no light. Everybody, can we come together, $20 here and there, to help get their lights on? Maybe the drug, it ain't drugs. Maybe just a simple fact they couldn't afford. They had to feed the kids first. And they sitting in the dark with candles. But we too busy. Fuck that. We dismiss it. Our ancestors rolling in their grave because we don't want to get along. We don't want to work together. We don't want to do shit. Only thing we want to do is sit up here and amass our own shit and think that we King Kongs and that we can kick everybody's ass and we'll be beyond reproach. And we're losing. We're losing this fight. We're losing this battle. And they taking advantage of us. Now, I'm not saying that some people out there don't deserve to get their ass handed to them. Not saying that. We're not all good and we're not all one. But the ones that understand your plight, link up. If you understand my plight, I'm glad to link up with you. So yeah, I listen to the Black National Negro Anthem and it touches my soul because the song is all about hope, sharing the issues that they suffered, and hope. Hope for a brighter day. Hope that God will hear their voices and change it. And it never came. But they had hope. And they did the right thing for you and your offspring so you can be here to celebrate this Labor Day. Well, 4th of July, all these damn holidays. But yet we want to discredit them and say they was cowards, they was lazy, they was this, they didn't want to stand up and fight, they could have done better. Man, that was a time they couldn't do shit. They was out of place. No munitions, no nothing. They had to grin and bear it because they had them babies there. They had that wife there. They had that grandma there. They had to protect what it is. They had to work extra hard to make up for when the grandmama and the granddaddy or a disabled child couldn't pull the labor. They had to work twice as hard to keep the family together. So master wouldn't have no reason to go out there and sell nobody. But that was considered cowardly. People got this shit all backwards. So I celebrate those ancestors who sucked that shit up and grin, then buried. I celebrate them for here and for now and to the future, because I wouldn't be here. Congolese in blood, guerrilla tactics. We knew what the fuck we were doing. We knew how to fight. Even if they had powder sticks, we knew what the fuck we had to do. Booby traps, poisons, we could have done it all. But those people had a vision of the future and how it could be, and they held out hope till a Messiah came to say they had. One or two came, then got the ball rolling. True Jim, that's what I'm trying to say. They did what they had to do. It's a totally different time. We don't have to go through that shit. We're not getting spoon-fed food in our rations coming from a single person. We can go to the grocery store. We can buy what the fuck we want to eat. We can do what we gotta do. So can't nobody hold no chains over on us. But during that time, they couldn't just uprise and rebel and then feel like they can go home and sit in a nice, comfortable house and sit with the family. And oh, if a bitch come on my property, I'll kill him. Where you gonna get your food from? You ain't growing it. Where you gonna get your substance from to buy clothes or the men's shoes and shit? That material just wasn't laying around like in a video game. So don't let nobody pump this shit in your head that they could have uprose and they could have done better. They bought their fucking time so your ass can be here. And so the offspring from them buying that time can do the job that they couldn't do, can make a better life, can do it. And they did it with grace, and they did it with such humility that it came out to being like, shit, we just as motherfucking majestic as the gorilla and the lion put together. We did that shit. We did it, y'all. They deserve some praise. To sit up there and call my ancestor that was on that plantation a coward is an insult to motherfucking all people. All black people who had to go through that shit. It's an insult. And please don't listen to the motherfuckers that say that. Because if they ass take this little military crazy ass mindset and sit it back there in the days of them ancestors, man, they would have been lynched up. And it won't be nobody coming from their seed. It won't be no granddaddy, no grandmama, because the shit would have stopped with them. Where's your future? That's where our ancestors get their energy from. The ancestors get their energy from future offspring. Your ass would have been another forgotten body some fucking well. So women had to take shit from master. We had to take shit from master. And I'm putting this to the ancestor that was on the slave plantation, because I want you guys to understand and know that they weren't no cowards. They did what they had to do in order to maintain for your survival and theirs, so you can be here today. That's it. That's the game. That's the trick. And for them to sit up there and the government come in and pit women against men, and then the internet and the TV pit men against women, and now they know we're separated and we can't even come together for that cause alone. Sometimes a brother just need a woman, a beautiful woman, ugly woman, don't matter, just need that feminine energy to come up there and say, we got this. You gonna make it through this bitch right here. Let's strategize. We ain't got to be intimate. We ain't got to know each other. Just know my fight. Know my plight. Brothers, we could walk up to a sister and be like, hey, I know you're pissed off. I know you're angry. You want to show your ass. But get that shit off your chest and let me escort you home, or let me escort you to a safe place so nobody don't sit up there and pull a gun and hurt you. But you got to be willing to accept help on both ends. Men got to be willing to to recognize where we wrong at, the where the sister could come in and say, hey, brother, I got your back. Let me help you. Fuck you. I don't know you. Women, you can't do it. You can't do it. I see it on TV. I see it in my everyday waking life. Lady didn't have enough money to buy groceries at the store. True fucking story, man. Lady didn't have enough money to buy the groceries at the store. A brother walked up and said, I got this. The lady turned him down. I don't need your motherfucking help. What, you think I'm poor or something? No, you just ain't got the money, and I got a little bit of change. Let me help you. I'm good. I'm good. We'll just put this back. We'll just put this back. You wouldn't even accept the fucking help. That wasn't no insult, ma'am. That was somebody trying to help a sister, help out. See, cause we see your struggle. You see how we done got so far away, and you don't think we need to pray for our ancestors to come back and rewrite our motherfucking brain so that we can sit up there and recognize that we need to help our sisters and help our brothers? It's not all about the money. It's not all about the fame. It's not all about, oh, I can do bad all by myself and shit. You can do bad by yourself. You can do good by yourself. But I'd rather do something constructive with. I mean, this is what's going on, people. You open your eyes. It's cute to sit up there and say, oh, it's due to the government making the men feminine, homosexual. No, that ain't got shit to do with it. This ain't no new thing that just came up. People been liking who they like. But we still understood that we in this together. But they teach us to put everything on everything except the simple fact that we need to heal our hearts and our mind. And the only way we do that by healing this ancestor energy that we sit up there hating our ancestors for. I'm gonna fucking call it. We sit up here and we don't want to deal with the ancestors that went through slavery because we got a deep-seated hatred for their ass, thinking that we could have came here via some other fucking method than other than they nut sack and their uterus. So we got a deep-seated hatred that they went through what the fuck they went through. We didn't go through what they went through. They went through that, and we sitting up here living fucking free, driving nice cars, living in air-conditioned houses, one person living in a 4-bedroom house, and we can sit up there and say, oh, we mad at them for not uprising. We mad at them for not doing what the fuck they gotta do. You should be thanking them. Should be thanking them that they had decency and humanity and they had a brain not to fucking go all in and go all out so you can be here. You wouldn't be breathing this sweet fucking air. You wouldn't be sitting up there married to the person you married to. You wouldn't be sitting up there watching your favorite YouTuber, which is me, by the way. You wouldn't be sitting up being able to do none of this shit if your ass never came into existence. So this is why I'm so passionate about this. You need to thank them. And these are the ancestors that was on that plantation. These are the ancestors who carried the tag as slaves and shit. I want to drop to this right here. Let's go over here to the Jewish people, by the way. When your boy Adolf did all that stuff to the Holocaust, those people became slaves. Those people were put in camps, prisons, all that shit. They had to do what they had to do. They had to grin and bear it. Listen to me good now. They had to grin and bear it. They had to pray every day to whatever God they served to make it out. And you know something, when they made it out and they time of tribulation was over, those people came together and amassed a fucking empire. They amassed their own community. They amassed their own television networks. They amassed their shit. In the 80s and the 90s, you couldn't watch a fucking TV show without a little Jewish kid that knew more than you, that knew more than the goddamn people writing the book. Everybody had philosophies and theologies, Blossom, the Wonder Years, all them little Jewish kids and shit. And they spoke so elegantly and they spoke about issues and shit because they understood and they stayed within their culture and they uplifted their own people through some form of work and service because they understood that Holocaust shit could come back at any moment. They didn't fight and now they have a footing, a word, something in this world. Black people, we are the only one that's still sitting up there hating our ancestors for grinning and bearing it, hating our ancestors for your ass to be here. We hate them subconsciously because they couldn't go out like these video games and TV heroes we see. It's a different fucking time and a different fucking era. We should be thanking them. Oh, you didn't protect me while master was raping me. Well, shit, did you protect me while he was raping me? Hmm? I could blame you for that. You blame me for a lot of shit. But we had to suck that shit up. You done got assaulted. Your woman done got assaulted back in the day on the plantation, and y'all ain't got nothing to do but hold each other and cry at night and say it's gonna get better. Y'all gonna get through it. That made it all worth it. The insult, the depravities, the sadness made it all worth it. And like you say, you hate your ancestors for not standing up and not being this super duper hero African savior. And then you look in the mirror and you hate yourself. And then once you end up hating yourself, now you hate your offspring. And then once you hate your offspring gonna go to hate your ass. And it's just a revolving circle. Let's praise our ancestors for putting up with that shit. Praise our ancestors, see where you come from, how strong they made you, who taught you the life skills to survive, who taught you how to maneuver through the shit, who taught you how to grin and bear it. Smile when you walk in. Make sure your hands are in the position where nobody can see that you finna hurt nobody. Make sure you wear as less shit on you as possible. Make sure you get a receipt for anything you buy from the store. Even if it's a soda pop, you get a fucking paper receipt so you can keep it in your pocket in case they say you stole it. Make sure you know you're gonna get checked at the airport when you go. Just grin and bear it. You gotta get belligerent. Grin and bear it. This is the time we in. That was the world. They taught us that. We gotta appreciate them. Because if they didn't teach us those survival skills, man, we wouldn't have survived. I don't hate these ancestors. I respect them and I praise them. Because they were smart. They were looking at the end game. They was looking at the long haul. Everybody, so this 4th of July, while we celebrating our independence, well, America's independence, how about you put a little shrimp on the goddamn Barbie, a hot dog on the Barbie, or a burger on the Barbie, and set that plate aside for one of your fucking ancestors and tell them thank you. Let the birds, the cats, the dogs, anybody eat it, but don't let no human being eat it. Set it aside, fix them a nice good plate, even open up a nice cool soda, a nice glass of tea or lemonade. Sit it right out there for them on the picnic table. Tell everybody don't fucking touch it. It don't belong to you. It belongs to the ancestors who survived, who put up with this shit so we can do this. Yeah, if you think if you every meal you get, you do that shit at the table. Every meal you get, you take a piece of that meal and you leave it for your ancestors, whatever capacity you praying to them. Boy, they'll think that because that's remembrance. That's respect. So they're going to come and help you. Do whatever you got to do. Fight whatever battle. Help you through whatever situation. So I'm going to smoke me a nice breakfast cigar. And I'm going to light me another one in there. Fix me another cup of coffee. And I'm going to sit on my front porch. Scroll through my phone. Look at a little TikTok. And have a mental conversation with all the ancestors. I hope they all visit me and stand in my front yard and tell me. I'm going to let my imagination run wild. And we're going to have a talk and chat. Just relax a little bit. Tell them thank you. I'm telling you, people, we got to do this here. Hey, we ain't got no. I don't want to get into this. I try to limit these things to an hour. I gotta say it. People, we ain't got no God to come save us. We ain't got no fucking deity in the sky to come down and rescue us from our pain. After 450 years of slavery, you don't see that motherfucker having come yet. Only thing we got is ourselves. And if we don't respect ourselves and cherish ourselves and give ourselves strength and energy through our ancestor lineage who coming up here and just bonding and building with us, we ain't got shit. We ain't got a motherfucking thing. We can't wait for a God to come down and rescue us. We got to do it ourselves. Gods exist, energies exist, we understand. But 400 years they ain't did nothing. We had to do that. That's what I'm trying to say. Our ancestors had to rely on themselves. They couldn't rely on the same God that the man that's whooping their ass serving to come and help them. No, but we had to come up with solutions and strategies to protect our women, to keep the family together, to grin and bear it, man. And this time we grinning and bearing it right now. We just got a little more liberty and a little bit more distractions with the cell phone and the internet. But we grinning and bearing so much fucking shit. And I would want my kids to say, my daddy did good. My daddy put up with shit so I can be here. My mama did good. My mama put up with shit so I can be here. That's all I'm saying. Give that energy that you will want from your offspring, your grandchild, your child, your great greats. Give that to the people who are your greats and your great greats. Give that energy to them, son. Thunder back and say thank you. I hope I'm making sense. That's how we do this. Can't keep hating our ancestors. Can't keep hating our sisters. Sisters, y'all can't keep hating the brothers. Brothers, you can't keep hating your children. You know, children, you can't keep hating your parents. Man, we all in this shit together. And if we don't recognize that we all we got, we are doomed to fucking fail. I don't care who you love, who you fuck, who you deal with. You can date outside your race. That shit is not important. The simple fact is that you make sure another black man or a black woman don't die on the street just because you didn't want to give a helping fucking hand. You didn't want to give a word of advice. You didn't want to step in before that situation got to a point of hostility and detriment and say, hey, can we just stop and think about this? Come walk with me. Let's do this. I know you want to bust this bitch in his head right now, but look at the cameras. Look at this. It's not the right time. Get a strategy, then come back and do what you got to do. Just do it smart. That's all. That's what I'm trying to get. I ain't saying lay down and just kiss her ass and shit. No, fuck no. I'm a bully when it come to my shit, and I'm always the alpha goddamn dude in the room. So, do I need to go out in a blaze of glory like a crazy gorilla? Or am I gonna do this bitch majestically and make sure I cover all bases? So a bitch don't know where it's coming from, or if they do find out where it's coming from, they're gonna like, this bitch did so much damage, we shouldn't fuck with him. That's how it gotta be. All this rubber rousing. But I just hate the simple fact of how men is hating women and how women is hating men. Knowing we going through the same fucking struggle point. They look at your ass on either side of the gender as nothing, as idiots. Can't come together. Gotta be spoon fed. So you ain't got a fucking voice. And then you get mad as a brother out there selling a little dope or doing some illegal shit versus you saying the woman come out there, man, you ain't gotta do this. We can come get this bitch another way. Let's start a business. I may not be dating you, but I know your cousin. Let's see, can we go into business together? What do you know? You know how to roof? You know how to garden? You know how to do lawns? You know how to cook good, great food? Let's open up a business. Put it in third party name, trust, and let them run it while we do what we do. And let them distribute the money the way they need to distribute to us so we don't flake on each other, don't fuck each other over, because we still got to deal with human nature. Some shit like that, and we live and we grow and we get it. But that's in a very much barrenistic utopia of ideas. And I don't know if anybody got it in them for that. I do. And that's what we got to do, people. Phoenix 707. You know what else happened? The elders refused to talk about slavery. My grandmother, great aunt, and uncle talked like that would stop when kids came in the room. Yep, stay in a child's place. They did. They did. They did. I don't even know if that's a disservice, because my great grandmama, she was telling me how they had to make her drink wine. She had to drink the leftover maraschino cherry wine that the white people used to leave in the cups, and she grew up addicted to that wine, and she drank it every day since she was 10 years old, up until the day she died at like 109 years old. She had to have a glass of wine, and it started just because they told her don't waste no good wine. They had got done, washed back and shit, and made her sit up there and drink it. And when her little body would get drunk, they would just laugh at her and slap her around. She had to deal with that, and that memory allowed her to become an alcoholic on wine alone. But she lived to be 109 years old. I think that woman is a hero. I think she's a hero. She could have went home and cried to Poppy, and Poppy go beat their ass. Now Poppy did. Then they gonna come and have their way with her because she's still a woman. Then they gonna destroy the whole family bloodline. Now Poppy and all them ain't got nothing. She had to go and take that shit. Tell them what happened. They had to pray for her, heal her heart, heal her soul, pray to God to give her strength, and say, we got this. It's gonna change. It's gonna get better one day. Gave that baby hope, and then she created me and my grandmama and my mama now. You know what I'm saying? Come on now. People, we gotta be better than this. All this hating each other, hating the ancestors for not uprising and freeing us sooner. Where the fuck we were gonna go if they would have freed us sooner? Where we were gonna go. And then it come down to hating yourself. Now you're hating to look at the black man. You're hating to look at the black woman. You're hating to look at your fucking kids, what they become. And now you just hate yourself altogether. And you can't wait to go over there and become some other personality, some other identity. And then you hate people who sit up there and call you out on the shit because they're starting to find a new way of doing things. And then you say, well, y'all fucked up too. Well, fuck you. I'm me. I'm going to identify as this Christian, Muslim / Hindu. You combining shit just to get an identity about yourself. And the only thing you have to do is just enjoy who the fuck you are, respect who you are and where you came from, and help out those who need the help. Sisters need tapping on the shoulder sometimes. Sister, you're getting out of line, you're being belligerent. Come on back home to us. We got you. We respect you. Don't look at yourself in the eyes the way they look at you. Brother, sometimes we need to be slapped on the back of our head. Bring it home, brother. I'm not your enemy. We got this. That's how I look at it. Women got to start protecting us, and we got to start protecting them. But if you're out there jumping on motherfuckers' back, pulling out knives and stabbing and being belligerent and thinking you can win a fight and expecting some side dude to step in and get murdered for you to leave his family home, it's crazy. Same thing. Brothers, you can't expect the woman to jump in just because two women jumping on your ass for some shit you did and protect you. I even heard that on a TikTok. Well, why she didn't protect me? Knowing that these two girls, I was done with them, but I'm fucking both of them. She should have jumped in and protect me, and they don't protect us. How the fuck you gonna say that? I'm getting off the weeds. That shit pissed me off too. But yeah, if we don't start protecting each other and pulling each other's shirt tail and saying, hey, get your shit in together. This is not how you're supposed to act. You think you're gonna survive? You got kids at that house. You got a mama at that house you gotta take care of. You got a baby brother with a disability. You got a whole life ahead of you. Don't you want to get married? Don't you want a nice house and car? Don't you got a job, something to lose? Get your shit in order and come on back home. Get your mind right. Live to fight another fucking day. But execute your plan when you execute that bitch to the fullest. If we can get that in our head, people, we gonna be all right. I done talked a little bit too much, y'all, and I hope y'all understood. This ancestor prayer that I'm about to pray right now is strictly for the ancestor that was on that farm plantation, the ancestor who was considered slaves in America. That's who we're praying for, and we're gonna thank them. We're gonna honor them, and we're gonna cherish them for putting up with the shit they put up with so we can be here, for stuffing their fucking anger and swallowing their pride just so they could create us prideful people today. Because I got so much pride, and I'd be damned if a bitch do anything out of the ordinary. I ain't bowing my head, and ain't no yes or mouse or no to that shit there. So I got this right here. Celestial say, y'all don't protect stupidity. We not telling you to protect it, celestial earth goddess. We just saying don't hate it. Tap on the shoulder and give a little word of advice. If they don't adhere to your advice, men and women, if they don't adhere to the advice that you're trying to put down, sister, then let them have at it. Let them have that ass whooping that's coming their way. Let them have the consequences. I get it. I'm with you. But I'm not saying put yourself in harm's way or danger or anything. I'm just being honest. We have to think like this. If we don't protect each other, who is? Who will protect us? Again, we too busy saber warring and fighting each other and trying to sit up there and one up or trying to be the best commentator about the issues. We got issues, we got trauma. All of us do. But at the end of the day, are we helping each other through that trauma, or are we just sitting up here egging the shit on? Oh, you on your own, you stand alone, you do your shit. You do your shit. It don't work like that. Sometimes a brother need a good tapping on the shoulder. Come on, man, I got your back now. It's a lot more life to deal. Don't you go out there and rob. Don't you go out there and hurt nobody. Don't you go out there and steal and kill. Sometimes, a sister, you're going to put yourself in a situation that I can't help you get out of. Let me help you right now. Let's go on and get where we need to go. Get out of this situation so we can survive this bitch now. I got you. You got a family. Sometimes people got to be rationed to so they can see what they got, so they don't go out there and make the ultimate sacrifice for shit. I'm just putting it out there. I'm just putting it out there. We got to get that self-hate out of our heart for our people. It's just hatred. We hate the ancestors, and I know it. We hate the ancestor that was on the slavery days. It's cool to romanticize the ancestor that was in Africa running around free, chopping down trees, praying and doing miraculous feats. But that ancestor come right along to them slaves too. They did what they had to do. They was taken from their land and they did what they had to do to survive so you can be here in this state. Oh man, thank you, Michelle. Appreciate it. That's all I'm saying, good people. Now let's get on with this prayer, because I'm talking a little too much, and I don't want to be the one to cause no confusion. I'm trying to make this a good thing, but I know people have their opinions and everything, and I'm not trying to get all into that. Oh, source energy, the one above all, those above all. I ask that you grant me an audience with my Baron, so that we may be able to talk, so that he may be able to help me communicate with my ancestors. Thank you. Oh, Baron, my friend, my guide, you're always there for me. You never let me fail. You teach me, you educate me, and you allow me to experience things that not many people can experience. I want to thank you for that. Open up a channel, a portal with my ancestors, and get me the hearts and the ears of the ancestor that was on that slave plantation. All the ancestors that was slaves in America. That was slaves in America that created the offsprings of everybody in earshot of me. Open up a portal to those guys, men, women, and children. Open up a portal and allow them to hear me and allow me to hear them. Put a shield of protection in front of us so that they may not enter our lives with their pain, regret, and sorrow, but they can still hear us. Allow them to take a portion, a fraction of my energy, and everybody in earshot of this video who are willing to give them a fraction of healing. Thank you. Oh, ancestors, I thank you and I praise you. You have been overlooked for so long. Your sacrifice on your journey of freedom to the new world has been foreshadowed by pain, sorrow, and hatred and regret. We looked at you, me included. We looked at you as people who could have done more, people who could have fought harder, people who didn't have to take that shit. But when you grow up and you look at it, you guys was in a situation, you guys was in a place where you had to take it because you didn't own any shops, you didn't own any land, you didn't own your own food. So you was at the mercy of these people who brought you over here. So you did what you had to do. You grinned and bared it, and you suffered through the fucking indignities and the strife just so I can be here. I thank you for that. I thank you for that, and I praise you and I bless you 100%. And I hope that a portion of my energy ease your pain. Enjoy a little bit of this life. Live vicariously through me, vision only, that you may see what your offspring and your sacrifice has done for us. God damn it, I got a nice car, I got nice children, nice house. I'm doing well, and I can't give that all to myself and my tenacity and my strength. That comes from you all putting me in a position to do this. Sitting up there getting your ass handed to you, getting degradized, molested and assaulted. You put up with that shit, and you thought it not robbery to make my grandmama, my great grandmama, my great great grandmama and granddaddy and offspring. You thought it to still have a life even though you were going through that shit. Thank you. That's more strength than anybody I know can imagine. Thank you. I praise you. I gladly offer a portion of my energy so that you can be free of your chains, to enjoy the sunlight, to walk with your shoulders held up high, to have a sense of pride that your offspring is doing what it's supposed to do, that your offspring is living that dream you want. I'm taking care of my family. I'm making sure I'm not hurting women. I'm making sure I uplift my brother when it comes down to it. I do this in your name, in your memory. I know what you guys went through. And I am sorry I didn't recognize it up until now. I am sorry I have never prayed to you guys, because I always thought you guys were weak and could have done better. But Lord knows you guys touch my soul and you touch my heart. And I know the shit y'all went through. I know the struggle. I would love to glorify you as an African hero that kicked everybody ass doing some ninja shit. I would love to glorify you in that. But heroes come in different colors, fashion, and attitudes. Heroes come at the point of playing the long game. And I want y'all to know, y'all long game paid off. Y'all created a very strong spiritual brother, who are creating very strong spiritual kids, and who is gonna save the world one day, strong and spiritual. Make sure everybody have this inner peace, this inner knowing, and this inner knowledge. And that comes from you guys downloading that into me. Download it into your offspring out here. Give them a sense of where you come from. Let them know where you came from, the struggle you had to make. Give them a sense that we could knock them chips off their shoulder. The men out there that's hating women, the women out there that's hating men, knock those goddamn blocks off our shoulders so we can come together. Yes, we have hurt one another. We have done it. Forgive us. Give us, touch our heart that we forgive those women who have hurt us men. Touch our hearts that these women forgive us men for hurting them, and vice versa. We have to do better, or else we're gonna fail. Ancestors, I thank you. Teach us, grow with us, come inside us, give us a sense of knowing, a sense of being, that we just may survive this new age of terrorism that's coming our way, because they're coming after these colors. They're coming after the black and the brown and the yellow. They coming after the black, brown, yellow, and red, and we too busy warring and fighting each other and being too petty and looking for the next hashtag niggas ain't shit, hashtag bitches need help, or bitches gone. We looking for the next glorified hashtag on this battle, rallying idiots among idiots and hateful people among hateful people to these dumbass causes. Break that shit up, Ancestor. Take my energy, some of it, and break that shit up. Let us know that we need to work together. We can't go around hating as a fucking hashtag, as a substance, letting that be our identity. Our identity is to love, uplift, and build one another till we get to the promised land of a utopia that we create here on earth. I love you, I thank you, and I praise you. I give you thanks for putting up with shit just so I can be here, for stuffing your pain and stuffing your anger, stuffing your sorrow, so I can be here. Thank you. So mote it be, so mote it be, so mote it be. Everybody, I'm serious about this right here. We can't keep hating. We can't keep looking for the nearest hashtag. We can't keep sitting up there saying our women ain't shit, our men ain't shit, because all that we ain't shit come back from the whole simple fact of how we hate our ancestors for not being able to protect us on that farm. And that all that shit was is the simple fact that we had to live to fight another fucking day. So let's get off our fucking high horse and get out there and say some good shit to one another. Be positive. Let's break this shit. Sister, your hair looking good. Sister, that clothes looking good on you. Keep working it. Brother, look at you. You're doing all right. You got this. Whatever the fuck you got going on in your life, I bet you gonna win. Uplifting us. Because if we don't fucking do it, who gonna do it? And we gonna be a bunch of invalids down in the dirt, suffering and feeling like we ain't got nobody to talk to. And then we trying to figure this shit out on our own when the next door neighbor got all the fucking answers to your situation because they done been there and done that. We got to start asking our ancestors for forgiveness. As we ask Jesus for forgiveness, we'll ask Buddha to forgive us. We need to ask our ancestors to forgive us for disavowing them, for hating them. Yeah, I said it. It's unpopular as fuck. I said it. I apologize for hating the simple fact that they couldn't kick their asses and spark a revolution. If they did, I wouldn't be here. So that's all I gotta say, good people. All right, everybody. I want you guys to tune in to True Spook TV this Thursday, 12 p.m. Eastern Time. See what the next story, grandma, whatever I come up with, gonna say, because we gotta make sure we do this. And all these stories are 100% true. That's why I wore the shirt, True Spook TV. This shirt is for sale on the website if you guys want to purchase it. Think it's not robbery, but take your time. Also, tomorrow, which is Tuesday, I didn't do a one question tarot on my Patreon last month. I just got so busy. I'm gonna do 2 this month. I'm gonna do it tomorrow and then 2 weeks from that. So we're gonna get 2 one question Tuesday tarot readings for the month of July, people. This coming Saturday, Monday, this coming Saturday, I'll be doing another teaching on my Patreons only. I'll be doing another teaching, the Baron's mystical teaching. This time we're gonna be talking about the tree, how to utilize it in magic and what it means, and all that good stuff there. Tune into my channel every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Just look at the videos I upload of readings. People let me record their reading, and they allow me to post it on YouTube, and I thank you guys for that. My channel wouldn't be what it is without it. And y'all come through and see what Spirit has to say for those people. It's 100% authentic. Y'all come through and guess. It gets crazy in there. It gets funny in there. Sometimes they get a little out of control. But I got some pretty good moderators. That place crazy, man. Come through and see, man. Y'all just come through and see what's going on. What else? Oh yes. All right. For everybody who ordered the money pots, they are done. I am shipping them out. It takes a while because I just don't throw no shit in there. I have to do animal sacrifices. I have to put them on the altar. And these 2 right here, I am vacuum sealing up. And I thought I could put it in the mail today, but today is a holiday. So this will be in the mail tomorrow. So if you order the pot, it's here. It will be in the mail. Thank you guys for ordering the brick dust off the website. Again, I would like a couple comments. How it's working for you guys. All that good stuff. You keep getting the 404 message. I need to check that. Maybe it ain't coming out my thing. I'm gonna check, unless it's a separate Patreon. It should be in the link to all my videos, the actual one. Miss Never Duplicated need a confidence ritual. I hear that. I think I took some of these things off my website. some spells I'm not doing anymore. But if that's up there, you can purchase it, and I'll make sure you I do it for you. But yeah, so that's all good, people. Let me check this link for everybody under this Patreon right quick. I want to see what's going on. All right. So it matters. They got the cash app, content, social media, Patreon link. I'm just making sure that it's working. So I'm putting it in the search engine now. Popping up. Hit this. Yeah, it pops up. You must be 18. Oh, that's some crazy advertisement. Select the member level. What the hell is this? Oh, shit. I ain't know that. I hope they didn't hijack my Patreon. Oh, there it go. It's still the link. I thought they hijacked the bitch because somebody named Rusty Shackelford was up here. Who the fuck he is? But let me go to home. Yeah, it's still up. That link worked. You just gotta look past the bullshit they advertising on it. That's all. Jay, 8 new patrons. Welcome them with a personal message. I don't know how, but I will try. But yeah, so it's working. So the link is in the Patreon thing. It's working. I just did it myself. Rose E, you're more than welcome. Michelle, thank you for the donation. I want you guys to go out there and have a great day. For those who celebrate the 4th of July, please be safe. Don't let them kids hold them firecrackers in their hand. A lot of people got their shit blowed off when I was coming up. Y'all put it on the ground, put it in a can. Have y'all a bucket of water next to the shit. You know what I'm saying? Be safe. No playing war games and shit. People, don't go shooting your fucking guns in the air. Shoot them bitches at the ground. Shoot them at the ground. That bullet got to come down somewhere. And the last thing you want on your subconscious mind is the fact that that bullet could have injured somebody. And the police will prosecute you from halfway across the street, across the country, halfway across the neighborhood. If that bullet ended up hitting somebody and killing them, it came from your gun. Point the bitch at the ground and pump about 3 or 4 in the ground. It ain't gonna hurt nothing pumping it into some dirt. But if you shoot that bitch in the air, that bullet got to come down. So y'all, let's not do nothing stupid. Oh yeah, by the way, I stay in the house on the 4th of July because I know what they do. I got a true spook story for that. It ain't spooky, but that bitch damn sure scary how we used to do shit back in the day on the 4th. So y'all watch out. I might just turn that bitch in. I may drop 2 of them on that one and that one. I'll think about it. All right, everybody. I'm finna get off this piece. I got some work to do. Got some things to do. All right, everybody. I'm the Baron telling you guys to trust you in the universe because at the end of the day, that's all you got. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Go support my other YouTube channel, True Spook TV. Listen to those stories. Share those stories. They're not kid friendly at all, but share them. Y'all come through and see what the boy got to offer. Take care, everybody. God bless.